Hi everyone, how are we today? I'm guessing that if you have landed on this video that you might be suffering a little bit with backache. Back pain is incredibly common and there are so many reasons why you may be suffering with this. Yoga is a fantastic way to relieve general backache, but if you do have any concerns about pain in your back, then you should go and see a medical professional. But today's class should help ease out any tension that might be lurking in the nooks and crannies of your spine. So when you are ready, come on down to your mat. We are going to start lying down today. So bring yourself down quite gently onto your mat. Lie yourself down, keeping our knees bent here. Okay, so we are just going to take a moment just to settle into this space today, resting the knees together, taking the feet about mat distance apart, closing the eyes if you want to, and then just moving your spine on the mat, noticing how it feels. If there's any parts of the spine that feel a little bit tight when you just rock forwards and backwards or from side to side, and you can use the floor almost like a massage tool for your spine here. And then when you feel quite settled, just rest your hands on your belly, close your eyes, and draw that focus onto your breath. Find some softness across the shoulders and the chest. And take a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. And as you breathe in, with your hands on your belly, you can feel your belly rise on your inhale and fall on your exhale. Nice steady breaths. And if we can, trying to keep that breath beautifully even through this short practice today. So we are going to start by taking our feet roughly in line with our hips. Again, just shuffling yourself around if you need to here. And we're going to take a hold of that right leg, keeping the knee bent, maybe interlacing the fingers around the front of the shin and draw the knee in towards the chest. Not too strongly, just a gentle pressure from the hands, resting on the leg to draw the knee a little bit closer in towards the body. And we're going to use our breath with our movement. So as we take that inhale, just notice how your body is feeling. Find length through your spine on the mat. So you're not lifting up, you're finding length through your spine on your inhale. And as you exhale, maybe a small amount of pressure to draw the knee in towards the chest. And then hold it here on your next inhale. And as you exhale, maybe you have room to move the leg a little bit closer, or maybe we're quite happy just staying where we are here. And then on your next breath, we're going to take that knee just slightly out to the side and draw it in, though we're trying to get it in towards that right armpit. So rather than drawing it straight in towards the body, we're just maneuvering it slightly to the side, keeping that left knee facing upwards. So trying not to let that knee fall out to the side as well. Just drawing the knee in. So just moving the leg in a slightly different position to get the stretch into the outside of the hip. There are so many different causes and reasons why you may be experiencing back pain. And as with all ailments or aches and pains in the body, it's generally not just related to that one part. So maybe not just in the spine. Okay, we're going to draw that leg in now and extend it up towards the ceiling. So we're stretching down the back of the hamstring. If it feels super tight, then just let the foot relax. Push the heel away if you want to, but otherwise just notice how the back of the leg is feeling. Depending on what time of day it is that you're practicing, you may feel a little bit tighter down the back of your leg. So just take it easy and move with the breath. Again, we inhale, we just notice how it's feeling. And then as we exhale, we can push the leg away if we want to, holding on behind the back of the thigh, or just resting the hands alongside the body here. Softening through the upper body, so we're not bringing tension into the top of the body here, and just pushing that leg away. So tight hamstrings, tight hips, All of these things can contribute or may contribute to pain in the back, especially the lower back. So by stretching out these parts of the body, we are possibly alleviating any tightness or tension in the spine as well. Okay, from this position, we're going to take that right ankle and just place it over the left knee. So from the hamstrings, we're coming back into the hips, having a little stretch into the outside of that right hip. And we can keep that left foot on the floor, or we can draw left knee in towards us and push that right knee away. Oh, this is such a nice stretch for the hip here. Again, think about the breath. So the inhale, the spine is long on the mat, and the exhale, maybe drawing that left knee a little bit closer in towards you, just depending on how intense you want to feel that stretch. Staying here for 2 or 3 breaths. And the longer you stay in the position, maybe the stretch eases off a little bit and you can move a bit further, but just listen to your body. Be guided by your breath. If that left foot is raised, we're going to return it to the floor. We're going to slide that left leg away from us. And we are going to take that right foot over the left leg here, or even just keeping it to the side. And all we're going to do is drop that right knee towards the left. So we're just coming into a little bit of a twist here. And this is a nice stretch to the outside of that right hip as well. We can reach the arms behind us if we want to. So we're stretching and twisting into the spine and into the hip. And if that feels a little bit uncomfortable, then we can just take both knees together and just drop over instead. So there's always variations to these postures. Coming back to center, we're going to come on to the other side now. So both knees are bent, feet are in line with the hips, and we're just going to draw that left knee in towards us, exactly the same as we did on the other side. And you might notice a difference as to how far you can draw your knee in from one side to the other. We don't have to be the same on both sides of the body. So just see how this feels as we inhale, lengthening through the spine, and as we exhale, drawing that knee in. Now we're going to take the knee slightly out to the side, and then we're going to draw it in towards that left armpit here, making sure that right knee stays upright and doesn't fall out to the side. So we're just gently drawing that left knee in towards that armpit. And then from here, excuse me, Lola, let's move out of the way. We're going to extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. So again, using the breath to see how it feels down the back of that leg. Mine is very bent. I am very aware how bent that leg is. It is quite early on in the day here. And if that's the same with you and you're feeling quite tight down the back of that leg, then just lower it down a little bit towards the floor, okay? We don't have to have it pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Maybe even giving the ankle a little bit of a turn here too. And the longer we stay in these poses, the more the body begins to relax and settle into them. Finding some length through the spine, through the hamstrings, stretching everything out. We're going to take that left ankle, place it over the right knee now. And again, finding that figure of 4 stretch into the hip. This side does feel a little bit tighter than the other. So you can choose to stay with that right foot on the floor, or you can draw it in towards you. So we have these opposing actions going on. We're drawing that right knee in, pushing that left knee away, finding that spine fully lengthened on the mat, so we're not curling the body up into a little backwards roll here. And then just staying here for a breath or two, letting the stretch ease off. Nice deep breath in, long breath out. As we extend that right leg all the way down to the mat now, we're going to drop that left foot to the floor and just come into this little spinal twist on this side. So dropping that right knee over the left leg. Excellent. Okay, let's come back to center. Hug both knees in towards you. Give that spine a nice little massage on the mat. Maybe even lifting the shoulders and the head, tucking yourself into a tiny ball here. before coming all the way up and over in any which way you choose. We are going to come all the way over onto all fours. So moving yourself into an all fours position, a tabletop position with our wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Gaze down to the floor, draw your belly in, and we're going to move our spine through our cat-cow. And as we inhale, starting the movement from the tailbone, we lift the tailbone, sink the belly, draw the shoulders back and down as we breathe in, and as we exhale, rippling that movement the opposite way, starting from the base of the spine. And just in your mind's eye, just visualize all the vertebrae from the very bottom all the way to the top, just going through their range of motion. And we are all different. We have different ranges of motion. So your back bends and your arches may be quite shallow, or they may be more exaggerated, but that just depends on how your bones are slotted together. We are going to come back into our cat pose, staying with our spine towards the ceiling, and sink the bottom back towards the heel. So you can come onto the toes, or you can keep the feet flat towards the floor in a child's pose. Feet are together. We can take the knees a little bit wider if we want to, and just sinking the head down to the floor, maybe taking a cushion or a block under the head if that feels better, or even staying upright in this posture. Wherever you are, we're going to come onto the fingertips. So if we can, drop the chin to the chest, push into the fingertips, push the bottom back towards the heels, give yourself a lovely stretch here. And by coming onto the fingertips, we are just drawing some movement into the upper part of the back as well. Take a couple of breaths. Drop the palms back to the floor. Sink a little lower if you want to. Just relaxing it down into your child's pose. Before finding your way back onto all fours, knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. We're going to come into a little thread the needle posture now, which again is a nice stretch for the upper part of the back. So we're always focusing, it seems, on our lower spine, but obviously our spine runs from the base of the skull all the way down to our tailbone. So we want to try and work all parts of the spine here. So from your all fours position, we are going to take our left arm and reach it up towards the ceiling, maybe following it with the gaze if we can, trying to keep the hips relatively level, so not swinging the left hip out to the side. So we reach up with that left arm, and as we exhale, we take it down and we thread it underneath underneath the right arm, and drop our left shoulder and our head to the floor. Our right arm can now extend towards the ceiling. Again, we're trying to keep those hips level. They might want to swing out to the right or the left, but if we can, try and keep some stability through the back. And then we're going to take that right hand and drop it behind us, just resting it on the outside of our left hip or the middle of our back here, wherever the arm reaches. This is a great stretch for the shoulders as well, a little bit of shoulder mobility, working into the upper back as well. And on your next inhale, we just reach the right arm up, take it to the floor, use that right hand to push you up, unthread the left, reach it up, and then take the left hand to the floor. Give your hips a little bit of a wiggle, reset your spine, and we're going to reach that right arm up now. Inhaling it up, exhaling it down and through, threading our needle. Rest the head, rest the shoulder. Inhale, left arm reaches. Exhale, take it behind. Stay here just for an inhale. Just for an exhale, feeling that nice stretch through the shoulder, the front and the back of the shoulder here. As we inhale, moving with the breath the whole time. Exhale, take it to the floor. Inhale, unthread the right. Reach it back up. And then take it down towards the floor. Tuck your toes here. Take the bottom back to the heels. Tuck your chin to the chest. Once more, lovely little stretch down through the spine. Staying on your knees, just walk your hands back in, sitting ourselves up here. So this is where you might need a cushion or something underneath your knees, because we are going to sit up, kneel up, sit up, kneel up on your knees. We're going to have the knees underneath the hips. Now we can have the feet flat to the floor if you want to, or we can come onto our toes. I'm going to lift the shoulders up to the ears and roll them back and down, taking the hands onto the hips or just where the hip creases are. Squeeze our glute muscles. We're going to do a couple of stretches for the front and the back of the body, so different positions for the spine. The first one, we're keeping the spine upright, very straight, no movement going on. We're going to squeeze the glutes, firm through the front of the legs. Pull the belly button in, and as we inhale, slowly take the body backwards. So we're keeping it in this lovely straight line. And then as we inhale, imagine someone's pulling you forward, and we come back to that start position. This is working our glutes, our core, the front of the thighs, all of these areas of the body that help support and protect our back. So we're going to do that a couple more times. So as we inhale, we slowly take it backwards. Just hold for a beat. And then as we breathe out, we come back to our start position. Last time, I'm going to try it with my feet flat on the floor behind me now. We take a nice inhale, bringing ourselves backwards, trying to maintain that control. And then the exhale takes us upright once more. This next one, we're going to bring some movement into the spine. It's called camel pose. So we're keeping the front of our body beautifully upright. We are going to grow through the front of our body, keeping those glutes nice and tight, keeping some control through our center as well. Taking the hands to the small of the back. So the palms are just resting in the small of the back with the fingers pointing down to the earth. Drawing the shoulders together, the shoulder blades together. As we inhale, we find length through the spine, maybe lifting the gaze just a smidge. And then as we exhale, keeping the hips pushed forward, looking up, maybe if that feels okay, we are bringing a gentle curve into the back. Just as we did in the cat-cow, visualize the spine. Imagine the vertebrae all bending equally. So you're not just snapping backwards from the lower part of the spine, but you're trying to envisage this smooth curve going up through your back. I know whenever I do this position, in my mind's eye, I've got this beautiful, gentle curve going on. And I know that when I look back at this video, I will be pretty much upright. But that's okay, as long as you have that visualization. So you are lengthening through the spine. You are bringing or attempting to bring movement into all parts of the back of your body. Okay, let's bring it upright once more. Tucking your toes, sitting back on your heels or all the way down onto the floor if you want to. Just take a moment, find the breath. And you can stay sitting on your knees, or if you would like to, coming down into a cross-legged position on your mat. Okay, so let's just rest the hands on the knees. Close your eyes for a second or two and think about how your spine is feeling after those gentle movements. We've worked the front of the body, the back of the body, the upper, the lower. And now we're just going to finish with a couple of side bends and a little twist as well. So as we take a breath in, we reach the arms up, extending them to the ceiling, keeping that right hand where it is, and just taking the left hand to the floor. And as we exhale, lengthening towards the left hand side, keeping the shoulder dropped and keeping both sit bones glued to the earth as well. So we're finding all that gorgeous long line down at the right hand side of the body here. If the neck's feeling a bit painful, you can look down towards the floor, or you can look up to the ceiling, or you can look at a dog that comes in. And then as we inhale, we take the hands back together, and then just drop that right hand to the earth. Inhale up, exhale, over we go. Hello, Lola. Shoulders are relaxed, sit bones are glued, and as we inhale, we take the hands up, touch the palms together, and as we exhale, we come into this gentle twist, dropping the right hand to the left knee and looking very gently over that left shoulder or towards that left shoulder. So we're not using the hands to wrench us round. We're using our core muscles to gently draw us towards the left. And from here, all we do is repeat that gentle movement on the opposite side. Slowly coming back to your central position. I hope your back is feeling a little less tight or tense now. Drop me a comment below, let me know what you thought of this video, and please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I look forward to seeing you on the mat again very soon. Thank you.